So all this work, we did do this for a reason, not just to draw a bunch of arcs and lines and stuff in a circle, okay? The most important information is going to be this line right here, this line right here, this line right here, and this line right here. So for the heck of it right now, I am going to copy these three lines. So shift, shift, there it is. Hit the Alt key, bring it up somewhere, and I'm going to the right view. Okay, and I am going to just keep that there. I am going to draw in the right hand view a box. Okay, when I draw the right hand view in the box, I'm gonna want to do that on the ground. So I'm going to do this to the intersection, and I'm going to say at 12 inches in the X direction and 36 inches in the Y direction. And there that should be, and there that is. And I'm going to bring it out 12 inches. Okay, so what I just drew was, let me do this, center that. Okay, what I just did was draw my pedestal that is required in your solar gallery project. Okay, so on top of this guy, I am going to draw another thing. So if I say shade it, there it is. On top of this thing, I am going to draw a wire box from corner to corner, and it is going to be 12 inches high. That is your sculpture. So you got the pedestal that we discussed in class, and we got the actual sculpture. These lines right here are going to be the solar rays for this thing. Okay, so for the summer, I want this thing to have, let me copy this, or let me move this thing. Move. From that out. It doesn't matter where it goes. What I'm going to do is copy this summer sun. Move that from this point to the bottom part of this pedestal. Copy this from the bottom point to the far corners. So if I'm looking at this in the side view, I'm gonna pretend that this is a sun's ray. Okay, and in the sun's ray, when it hits, it's gonna hit the top of this cube and the bottom of this cube. That doesn't mean I'm gonna have this thing like this, because that doesn't help. It only gets the sun to this little part of the sculpture. Is that correct? So move this guy from this to there, and that's my ray of the arc. Ray of the sun, that's what it is. So we have this bit. Let's do this, where I'm going to set a layer. I'm going to say winter. I'm sorry, summer. Whoops. Name it summer. And that's my layer, and it's current right now. If I go ahead and draw a polyline. Okay, polyline is this thing plus the left arc, or left mouse button. Whoops. I'm going to draw it from this point right here to that point right here, that intersection right there, and I'm going to go to the end point of this line, end point of that line, and then C for close, and it gave me a closed polyline, right? A curve. If I go ahead, and I'm going to be in the right view for this, if I go ahead and select that curve, and say solid, extrude planar curve, straight. I could bring this thing so that it is on the other side, and that represents the sun ray that I need to have just to eliminate this piece. So what I'm saying is that if I have a roof like this, what that's going to mean is that if I do a Boolean difference kind of thing, so Boolean difference this with that, it made a hole in this roof, right? So once it made a hole in this roof, that's the only part that the sun's going to shine into. Which means that if I line it up really, really correctly, there it is, it's going to hit that sculpture right at that point. So that's what I'm trying to get to right there, to make the roof or the walls to intersect with this ray of light. That way the roof structure will shade everything else. Everything else is in darkness. The only part that's in light is the shaft of light. Okay, so that's the main point of this thing right here. So we're going to do the same thing with the winter and spring and fall. So I can name this guy winter. Right? And then let's hide summer. Get rid of this. Move this guy, the winter, and put it right onto there. Copy this guy, put it right onto there. And then I'm going to make a polyline from those points. Whoops. Make a polyline from those points to the end point. And then C for close. And then take that polyline curve, go to solid tools, turn it into a solid, and then go through there, and there's my winter light. So I'm gonna go to layer 3, which is the equinox. And then turn the winter off and do the same with this light. Copy or move that, copy, draw a polyline, C for close, and then go ahead and select that object, extrude it, onto that, and there is my winter light. Okay, so if I turn all this on, we have summer, we have winter, and the equinox light shaft that we're going to use. We're going to take this thing and copy it onto our solar gallery project, or our 24 by 24 by 24 box, and make that aperture into that box for demonstration.